Welcome back to Beyond Vision Mindset. If this is your first time here, I'm thrilled you found this space. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss out on more powerful insights designed to help you unlock your full potential. In today's video, we're diving into a topic that many of us struggle with at some point in our lives. How to be nice without being a pushover. Now, we all know what it's like to feel the pressure of being kind to others, but at times, that kindness can be misused. Maybe you said yes when you really wanted to say no, or perhaps you found yourself going out of your way to help someone, only to feel drained and unappreciated. The truth is, it's not easy to balance being compassionate and kind with protecting your own well-being, but it's entirely possible. In today's world, where people often take advantage of those who are nice or overly eager to please, it can feel like a real challenge to maintain your integrity without being taken for granted. That's where Stoic philosophy comes in. It offers a time-tested approach to living with virtue, wisdom, and strength. By understanding how the Stoics navigated life's challenges, we can learn how to set boundaries, assert ourselves, and still be genuinely kind without compromising our self-respect. So, is it possible to be genuinely kind without letting others walk all over you? Can you show compassion while still standing your ground? The short answer is yes, but there are a few key principles that will help you get there. In this video, we'll break down exactly how to achieve this delicate balance by learning the true meaning of kindness through a Stoic lens. I'm sure at some point, we've all been caught up in people-pleasing, feeling as if our worth is tied to how much we give or how agreeable we are. But what if I told you that kindness doesn't have to mean weakness? That by embracing Stoic teachings, you can show compassion, set strong boundaries, and stand in your power without guilt or fear of rejection. That's exactly what we'll explore today. If you've ever struggled with saying no without feeling bad, or if you found yourself stuck in a cycle of putting others first to your own detriment, this video is for you. By the end, you'll walk away with practical tips on how to be kinder, stronger, and more resilient in your relationships. So, let's jump right in and explore how to apply Stoic philosophy to be kind without being a pushover. Stick around, because this one is going to change the way you approach kindness forever. 1. Understand the Stoic foundation of kindness. To begin, let's dive into the core of what Stoic kindness really means. At first glance, kindness can seem like an open invitation to be taken advantage of. Many people associate kindness with being overly generous, accommodating others to the point of self-sacrifice, and always prioritizing others' needs over their own. But Stoic philosophy offers a much deeper and more powerful definition of kindness. The Stoics believed that virtue is the highest good, and virtue isn't about being endlessly giving or constantly nice to everyone you meet. Instead, Stoic kindness is rooted in the pursuit of wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. These virtues shape how you interact with the world, and kindness, in the Stoic sense, is not about pleasing others or seeking external approval. It's about acting in accordance with your principles and doing what is right, even when it's difficult. At the heart of Stoic kindness is self-respect. You can't give to others from an empty cup, and you certainly can't be truly kind if you're neglecting your own needs and values. A Stoic's kindness is grounded in an understanding that you must first respect yourself, your boundaries, and your time. This means that when you're being kind, you're doing it out of a place of abundance, not depletion. You're choosing to help others not because you feel obligated or because it feeds your ego, but because it aligns with your values and you can do so without harm to yourself. Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on the things that we can control: our thoughts, our actions, and our responses. We cannot control other people's reactions, nor can we control how they perceive our kindness. But we can choose how we act, and we can make sure that our kindness is aligned with our purpose and values. This is what makes Stoic kindness different from the traditional idea of being nice. Being nice is often about seeking approval and avoiding conflict. Being kind, in the Stoic sense, means acting with integrity, treating others with fairness, and practicing empathy without compromising your own peace of mind. By grounding your kindness in Stoic principles, you are empowered to show compassion while maintaining strength, dignity, and a clear sense of self. The Stoics recognized that real virtue doesn't require you to sacrifice your own well-being in the process of helping others. True kindness is about being firm in your principles, yet compassionate and respectful toward those you encounter. It's not about giving in to every request or bending over backward to avoid conflict. It's about acting with courage and fairness, always keeping your integrity intact while still showing care and respect to others. Through this understanding, you'll begin to realize that being truly kind doesn't have to mean being weak. In fact, it's quite the opposite. To practice Stoic kindness, you need to develop the emotional strength to say no when necessary, to enforce your boundaries with grace, and to show compassion in a way that doesn't leave you drained or exploited. This is the kind of kindness that stems from strength, self-awareness, and wisdom, and it's the kind of kindness that helps you maintain your dignity, integrity, and peace of mind, no matter the situation. 2. Setting boundaries and saying no with confidence. One of the most crucial aspects of being nice without being a pushover is learning how to set boundaries. Boundaries are the invisible lines we draw around ourselves that define what we are and are not willing to tolerate. They help us protect our time, energy, emotional health, and personal space. Without clear boundaries, it becomes far too easy for others to take advantage of us. They may ask for more than we can give, expect us to prioritize their needs over our own, or demand our time without any regard for our well-being. The Stoics believed in controlling what is within our power and accepting what is not. When it comes to setting boundaries, this Stoic idea is crucial. We can control how we respond to others' requests, but we cannot control what they ask for or how they react when we say no. Learning to set boundaries means understanding that we have the right to prioritize ourselves and our values, without guilt or fear of disapproval. It means recognizing that, while it's natural to want to help others, we are not obligated to do so at the expense of our own health, happiness, or peace of mind. Saying no is a powerful skill that many people struggle with, often because they fear disappointing others or causing conflict. However, in Stoic philosophy, the idea of virtue is about living according to reason, not emotions. When we say yes to things we don't truly want to do or that don't align with our values, we are acting out of fear or people-pleasing tendencies, rather than from a place of wisdom. Saying no assertively is an expression of self-respect and clarity. It means you are honoring your own needs, and it doesn't have to be an apology. In fact, one of the most important things the Stoics teach us is that our actions should be aligned with our true purpose, not influenced by the expectations of others. By saying no, you are simply setting the stage for a more authentic and balanced life. You're sending a clear message to both yourself and others that your time and energy are valuable. In the long run, this builds respect, not only from others but, more importantly, from yourself. When you start practicing saying no in situations where you're overextended or uncomfortable, you'll notice a significant shift in how you feel. It may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to saying yes out of habit, but over time, it becomes easier. You'll stop worrying about disappointing others and start valuing your own well-being. Stoicism teaches that we must act according to reason, not emotion, and when we act from a place of reason, we see the long-term benefits of maintaining our peace and energy. Additionally, assertiveness plays a key role in setting boundaries. Assertiveness is about expressing your thoughts, needs, and desires clearly and confidently, without being aggressive or domineering. It's about owning your decisions and standing by them, even when others may not understand or agree. Assertiveness requires practice and a shift in mindset. Rather than fearing the potential fallout of saying no, you learn to trust that your boundaries are valid, that your needs matter, and that it's okay to stand up for yourself. The Stoics believed that we must focus on what we can control, and the one thing we always have control over is our own response. When we set boundaries, we're choosing to take control of our own lives. We're choosing to protect our time, energy, and peace of mind, not as an act of selfishness, but as an act of self-respect and wisdom. This will empower you to navigate relationships with greater strength and clarity, without being bogged down by the guilt or resentment that often arises from not having clear boundaries. By setting boundaries and saying no with confidence, you create space in your life for more meaningful, authentic connections. You stop giving from an empty cup, and instead, you start giving from a place of abundance, where your actions are aligned with your true values. And that, in the end, is the greatest form of kindness you can offer, both to others and to yourself. 3. The power of emotional control. Mastering your reactions. One of the most crucial tools you'll need to practice kindness without being a pushover is emotional control. Our emotions, while important, can sometimes cloud our judgment and lead us to act impulsively or react defensively. In many situations, our knee-jerk reactions, whether they're anger, frustration, guilt, or fear, can cause us to compromise our boundaries or give in to the demands of others, even when we know it's not in our best interest. This is where Stoic philosophy shines, offering profound insights into how we can master our emotions and maintain composure in the face of challenging interactions. The Stoics taught that while we cannot always control external events, we always have control over how we respond to them. This concept, known as the dichotomy of control, is the foundation of emotional control. It teaches us that we can't always control what others do or say, but we can control how we choose to react. In moments of conflict, stress, or pressure, we have the power to pause and respond in a way that aligns with our values and principles, rather than reacting impulsively based on emotion. One of the most powerful Stoic tools for emotional control is the practice of mindfulness, or, more specifically, self-awareness. The Stoics often referred to the practice of mindful reflection, where you step back in the moment and observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. This pause gives you the space to assess the situation calmly and decide how best to respond. Instead of letting emotions take the wheel and driving you to say yes when you mean no, mindfulness allows you to take a breath, assess the situation, and make a decision based on logic, virtue, and what is truly in your best interest. By practicing emotional control, you also prevent yourself from falling into the trap of people-pleasing. When we react out of fear or guilt, for example, feeling bad about saying no to someone's request, we allow ourselves to be manipulated or coerced into situations we don't actually want to be in. The Stoic approach teaches us that our emotions, while natural, should not control us. Instead, we should train ourselves to acknowledge them without letting them dictate our actions. For instance, you may feel guilty when turning down a friend's request, but if you're mindful of your emotions and able to reflect on the situation, you'll realize that saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you are taking care of your own needs first, which is necessary for maintaining healthy relationships and overall well-being. Another critical aspect of emotional control is recognizing when we're being emotionally manipulated. Many times, people will use emotional appeals to get what they want, whether it's guilt-tripping you into saying yes or making you feel like you're being selfish if you don't comply. The Stoics advise us to recognize these emotional manipulations for what they are and to stay grounded in our values. This doesn't mean we become cold or indifferent to others' feelings. On the contrary, Stoicism encourages empathy and understanding. But empathy doesn't mean sacrificing your own needs. It means recognizing the emotions of others without losing sight of your own integrity. When you learn to control your emotional responses, you also learn to cultivate inner peace, a core tenet of Stoic philosophy. Inner peace is achieved when we no longer allow external events or the actions of others to disturb our emotional balance. This doesn't mean we suppress our feelings or avoid challenging situations. It means we choose to remain centered, no matter what's happening around us. We stop reacting impulsively, and instead, we respond thoughtfully and in line with our values. Emotional control allows you to be kind in a way that doesn't drain you, making your kindness sustainable and empowering. By mastering emotional control, you create space to act from a place of wisdom, rather than being driven by emotional triggers. When you can maintain your composure, you're in a better position to make thoughtful decisions, set strong boundaries, and show kindness without being exploited or taken advantage of. Emotional control is the foundation of true self-respect, and it is what allows you to be both kind and strong in all of your relationships, without losing sight of your own well-being. 4. The role of patience and subtlety in kindness. One of the most powerful but often overlooked aspects of kindness is the ability to exercise patience and subtlety in our interactions. Many people think kindness must be immediate or that it requires big, dramatic gestures of generosity. But Stoic philosophy teaches us that the most effective kindness is often quiet, subtle, and patient. The Stoics understood that our time and energy are precious resources, and they didn't encourage wasting either on unnecessary actions or quick fixes. True kindness, in their view, is not about rushing into situations or reacting out of emotion, but rather taking the time to thoughtfully consider our actions and the potential consequences. Patience, as a Stoic virtue, is about understanding that good things, whether relationships, opportunities, or self-improvement, take time. When you're kind without being a pushover, you develop the ability to wait, to let things unfold naturally, and to allow people the space to grow. This is especially important when it comes to setting boundaries. Sometimes, being kind means knowing when to step back and let others take responsibility for their actions or learn from their mistakes. Instead of jumping in to solve problems for others, the Stoic approach encourages you to practice patience, allowing others to figure things out on their own when appropriate. Subtlety, on the other hand, is about how you communicate your kindness and boundaries without being forceful or overtly assertive. It's the ability to convey your intentions with gentleness, yet firmness, allowing you to remain compassionate without compromising your integrity. In many cases, it's more effective to let your actions speak louder than words. You don't always need to announce your boundaries or assert your needs loudly. Often, a simple, calm response or a quiet shift in behavior can communicate your values just as effectively. The Stoics were masters of subtlety, using their actions to demonstrate their character rather than relying on words or grand gestures. In your relationships, practicing subtlety means knowing when to speak up and when to remain silent, when to offer help and when to step back. Subtlety allows you to be kind in a way that doesn't overpower others or leave you feeling drained, and it creates space for mutual respect. It's a way of maintaining your dignity while still showing compassion for others. Being patient and subtle in your kindness also allows you to avoid the pitfall of burnout. If you're constantly rushing to help or always saying yes without thinking, you risk depleting your emotional reserves, which can ultimately lead to resentment. Patience gives you the time to consider your actions, and subtlety ensures that your kindness is impactful without overwhelming either party. Together, these virtues help you practice a form of kindness that is sustainable, empowering, and deeply fulfilling. As we've explored, Stoic kindness is not about being overly agreeable or sacrificing your own needs for the sake of others. It's about understanding that true kindness comes from a place of strength, self-respect, and wisdom. By practicing emotional control, setting boundaries, and embodying patience and subtlety, you can show compassion without compromising your values. Remember, you don't have to be a pushover to be nice. In fact, the most impactful kindness comes when you act from a place of inner strength, where your kindness is both authentic and empowering. If you found these Stoic principles helpful in your journey toward living a balanced, virtuous life, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with anyone who could benefit from these insights. And, of course, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Beyond Vision Mindset for more content that helps you unlock your true potential and live a life of wisdom, integrity, and strength. Thanks for watching, and remember, kindness is not weakness, it's strength in action.